Social and political commentary from a Christian male perspective.
And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back. You did not see a thumbnail. You did not see a title. Because this video popped up earlier today while I was out running some errands. And I said, I'm just going to respond to it. And let me just off the bat say that I do accept and support the U.S. destruction of Iran's nuclear capabilities. I agree with that. I agree with attempting to get these two petulant children that have been fighting for however long together. I totally understand that. I also understand why the Don is so mad. Good gracious, Donald Trump is mad. Let me bring this in and let's talk about it piece by piece. Let's go. All right, you may have seen this, you may not have. I do want to let you know off the bat, our fine president, number 47, he's upset and he does use a foul word, a naughty word toward the end. So I apologize about that. But let's go. Green hearts in the chat when you can hear.
But reports coming from the region suggest that the sides accuse each other for violating the ceasefire. So
I think they both violated it. Yeah, I don't think I'm not sure they did it intentionally. They couldn't rein people back. I don't like the fact that Israel went out this morning at all, and I'm going to see if I can stop it. So as soon as I get away from you, I'm going to see if I can stop it. Okay? I think it's been completely demolished. I think the reason we're here is because those pilots, those B-2 pilots, did an unbelievable job. And, you know, the fake news.
So before we get too far afield, Trump has said, hey, I don't like the fact that we called a ceasefire and these yahoos are throwing past licks after the fact. So he's going to see if he can pull some of that back. He's going to talk about it. I didn't realize Israel did some of the things that they did after the ceasefire was allegedly agreed to. And it's kind of wild. So he's going to talk about the news now. I do think it's kind of interesting that our news sources are spending so much time attempting to debunk whether or not the nuclear capabilities were completely, totally, partially, most likely destroyed. I don't understand what is the motivation behind that. And he's going to talk about it in a second. Let's let him do it.
It's like CNN in particular. They're trying to say, well, I agree that it was destroyed, but maybe not that destroyed. You know what they're doing? They're really hurting great pilots that put their lives in the line. CNN is scum, and so is MSDNC. They're all, and frankly, the networks aren't much better. It's all fake news, but they should not have done that. Those pilots hit their targets. Those targets were obliterated, and the pilots should be given credit. They're not after the pilots; they're after me. They want to try and demean.
You don't believe that Iran can rebuild its nuclear program?
Iran will never rebuild its nuclear. From there, absolutely not. That place is under rock. That place is demolished. The B-2 pilots did their job. They did it better than anybody could even imagine. They hit late in the evening. It was dark with no moon, and they hit that target with every one of those things, and that place is gone. But when I see CNN all night long, they're trying to say, well, maybe it wasn't really as demolished as we thought. It was demolished. You take a look at the pinpricks, and you see that place is gone. And I will say, I think CNN ought to apologize to the pilots of the B-2s. I think that MSDNC ought to apologize. I think these guys really, these networks and these cable networks are real losers. You really are. You're real losers.
Israel says that they violated the peace.
You're gutless losers. I say that to CNN because I watch it. I have no choice. I got to watch that garbage. It's all garbage. It's all fake news. But I think CNN is a gutless group of people. And the people that run it, nobody even knows it's been sold so many times. But the people that run it ought to be ashamed. MSDNC, a guy named Brian Roberts, he heads it. He's a disgrace. He's a weak, pathetic disgrace.
Israel says that Iran violated the peace agreement and the ceasefire agreement. Do you believe that Iran is still committed to peace?
Yeah, I do. They violated it, but Israel violated it too.
Are you questioning if Israel is committed?
Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I've never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours You don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm
Pass
not
a
happy
lick.
with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because of one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have.
All right. So again, I agree with the Don. Like, look, we're trying over here get y'all lives under control. Now, granted, I do think that it's a fool's errand because this war has been going on generations before us, and if Jesus tarry, it's going to be going on generations after us. These people don't want peace, and they're. I dropped a video last night about how people in Gaza and under this regime have been raised. They're raised to continually want to fight. They're not raised to seek after and pursue peace or pursue an amicable, peaceful existence, if you will. So this is a sticky wicket. I don't really believe that there's any real win here, to be honest.
We have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
Thanks. All right. All right, so that's the Don. All right, so that's Donald Trump. He said, "Hey, man, these people don't even know what they're doing." That is wild. All right, he's getting ready to take off on Marine One. Shout out to Marine One and the Marines. Shout out to them. He shouts out his pilot, probably. Can you imagine that, man, being the pilot for the president? That's got to be a wild job. All right, Secret Service loading in. You know they got the toys. You got everybody, the boys are jumping in to Marine One. They're on their way to, is it a NATO summit? It's a NATO summit they're on their way to, which is kind of cool. We'll go back over and kind of look at what Don said, what the Don 47 said, and get your thoughts on that as well. So let's run this track back. All right, so that was the first. I really kind of want to hear. I want to hear the questions better. Let me see there. I don't. Every one of these
I think it's been completely demolished.
clips
I think
that I've heard,
we're here.
the audio is not that good on the questions from the reporters. So we're gonna have to kind of. We might have to transliterate it. I'm gonna just check one more time. I got one more to check. We're live news now. See if the questions are a little bit clearer.
The deal. There was one.
Yeah, this one actually sounds a little bit better. So let me pull this one in instead. So this is live now. And I don't know, she's just a little bit closer to the microphone. Shout out to everybody that jumped in. All right, let's jump into this. Let's go.
Mr. President, the Middle East just woke up to a new dawn because of the ceasefire. Mr. President, Israel said ceasefire breaking is impact.
I don't think so, but I'm not happy that Israel's going out now. There was one rocket that I guess was fired overboard. It was after the time limit, and it missed its target. And now Israel's going out. These guys got to calm down. Ridiculous.
I agree, but I think the problem is we're not realizing that these people want war. I hate to say it like that, but it's true. And our intervention, I think, needs to be kind of like that situation where you're feeding a kid with a long spoon versus feeding them with your hand. We got to feed them with a long spoon and just let them, because they're going to just keep fighting each other. And for lack of a better term, we're going to have to try to keep the shenanigans on that side of the world because they just want to fight. Again, I don't believe after thought. I don't know. All right, let's go.
I didn't like plenty of things I saw yesterday. I didn't like the fact that Israel unloaded right after we made the deal. They didn't have to unload. And I didn't like the fact that the retaliation was very strong. But in all fairness, Israel unloaded a lot. And now I hear Israel just went out because they felt it was violated by one rocket that didn't land anywhere. That's not what we want, I'll tell you. And I'm telling you, I'm not happy about that, Israel, either.
You know what? I like the fact that he's coming down on both sides, kind of like a parent trying to deal with both kids. One's going to get their hand slapped. The others will get their hand slapped. They both did wrong. They both are doing the wrong things, and he's calling them both out. I'm not mad about that. Again, I just don't know if it's actually going to be fruitful. But, you know, shout out for at least wanting to see a semblance of peace. So you can't say that he's only siding with one side of the argument when you can clearly hear here. He's saying, no, both of y'all is wrong. Both of y'all out of pocket.
All I do is play both sides. I'm going now, as you know, to NATO. Some of you are going with me, and I think it's going to be successful. We'll see. I'll let you know.
Are you going to see the agreement? It's a new dawn in the Middle East thanks to the agreement you managed to achieve. What are your future plans for the region, for Saudi Arabia, Israel, Gaza, the hostages?
Look, you're asking me about women in the Middle East. It's getting a lot better. Things are happening at a high level. As you know, Saudi Arabia has done a really good job. It's coming out far faster than I thought. So we're very happy about what's happening with women in the Middle East.
No, I'm talking about a new dawn in the Middle East that you managed to achieve last night.
Yeah.
The region is going to a new place with this agreement. Can you tell us what's your future plans for Gaza, for the hostages?
Yeah. It's a new dawn. I appreciate the question. You're very nice. Who are you?
Thank you. I'm Maria Krause from Israeli Channel 13 News.
Well, we have to have Israel calm down because they went on a mission this morning. I got to get Israel to calm down now.
Did you get to speak to the Prime Minister? Did you talk to Prime Minister Netanyahu last night?
I speak to everybody.
Okay. I like her question too. Shout out to the young lady. She's from, I heard Israel Journal or something of that nature. I don't know how I heard. Anyway, I like her question. I don't like that she's asking the question of Donald Trump, though. Donald Trump is the president of the United States. He's not the president of Saudi Arabia and Gaza, all of that region of that nature. Well, we can want the best for them. We can root for them. We can pray for them. We can celebrate when they get victories. We can cry when they falter. But this is they're going to have to work on that. If they want women's rights, they're going to have to work on that. If they want to deal with, again, the turmoil and chaos going on over there, they're going to have to deal with that. We're not ultimately supposed to deal with that. And that's that international police thing. I think sometimes we have to be mindful of. Now, sure, we can keep our eye on and make sure we don't got rogue actors getting, really bad weaponry. I totally get that part. But like civil rights, women's rights, and such of that nature, that's y'all. Y'all are going to have to vote for that. Y'all are going to have to campaign for that. You're going to have to petition and change your narratives. That's what you're going to do. The Don is not going to do that. We're not going to do that. But that's just me. I appreciate the question. I like her question. I think she's asking the wrong person, though.
You urge both sides not to violate the ceasefire, but reports coming from the region suggest that the sides accuse each other for violating the ceasefire. So
I think they both violated it. I'm not sure they did it intentionally. They couldn't rein people back. I don't like the fact that Israel went out this morning at all, and I'm going to see if I can stop it. So as soon as I get away from you, I'm going to see if I can stop it, okay?
I like how he blames it on them. Like, hey, stop asking me these questions. I need to get away from you because I need to get over here and get this international situation taken care of. I hate that. I hate that. I don't fully understand the ceasefire and what happened post ceasefire, 10 minutes before the ceasefire, 30 minutes after. I don't know how that all plays out. It's always, but they've been having ceasefires forever, man. They probably got a rule book on how to violate ceasefires. You know what I'm saying? Because they're forever doing ceasefires. All right, let's go. Oh, but I do like him. Like, hey, let me get away from here. Let me get away from you. Stop asking me these questions.
I think it's been completely demolished. I think the reason we're here is because Those pilots, those B-2 pilots, did an unbelievable job. And you know, the fake news, like CNN in particular, they're trying to, they're trying to say, well, I agree that it was destroyed, but maybe not that destroyed. You know what they're doing? They're really hurting great pilots that put their lives in the line. CNN is scum, and so is MSDNC. They're all, and frankly, the networks aren't much better. It's all fake news, but they should not have done that. Those pilots hit their targets. Those targets were obliterated, and the pilots should be given credit. They're not after the pilots; they're after me. They want to try and demean.
I've said this before. I mean, I don't have no problem with Donald Trump's, his brashness, his pushbackness on the such like that. I really think he needs to stop giving air to fake news. I think he should have celebrated those pilots. I think that really would have, because now they got that fake news commentary. What he says about the news, and he calls them scum and this, that, and the third. They're going to run with that. They're not going to say anything about the pilots. Let's celebrate these pilots. They're not. I think he should put all of in my opinion, if he asked me, if he called me up on the bat phone and said, Jason, what should I do? Put all the attention on the good people that you don't want CNN to talk about, or CNN won't talk about. Let me say it another way. Talk about those pilots. Talk about all the different components that played a role in doing this, dare I say, Herculean task of knocking out that nuclear facility. Celebrate that. Talk about that. We already know they're fake news. We already know they're scumbags. We already know that they're good for nothings. Force them, if they're going to talk about you, Don, force them to talk about the good things that you're going to celebrate. That way they're going to be in a pickle. They're going to have to say, oh, we don't really want to talk about Donald Trump because all he's talking about is good stuff, so we can't talk about him. All right, let's go.
Iran can rebuild its nuclear program?
Iran will never rebuild its nuclear. From there, absolutely not. That place is under rock. That place is demolished. The B-2 pilots did their job. They did it better than anybody could even imagine. They hit late in the evening. It was dark with no moon, and they hit that target with every one of those things, and that place is gone. But when I see CNN all night...
Just stop. You should just stop right there. You did not even need to bring CNN in there. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about CNN. You didn't even have to bring them up.
They're trying to say, well, maybe it wasn't really as demolished as we thought. It was demolished. You take a look at the pinpricks, and you see that place is gone. And I will say, I think CNN ought to apologize to the pilots of the B-2s. I think that MSDNC ought to apologize. I think these guys really, these networks and these cable networks are real losers. You really are. You're real losers.
See, I don't think that's necessary.
You're gutless losers. I say that to CNN because I watch it. I have no choice. I got to watch that garbage. It's all garbage. It's all fake news. But I think CNN is a gutless group of people. And the people that run it, nobody even knows it's been sold so many times. But the people that run it ought to be ashamed. MSDNC, a guy named Brian Roberts, he heads it. He's a disgrace. He's a weak, pathetic disgrace.
Again, look, I support Donald Trump. I don't think Donald Trump needs to do that, in my opinion. All right, let's keep this game going.
Iran violated the peace agreement, the ceasefire agreement. Do you believe that Iran is still committed to peace?
Yeah, I do. They violated it, but Israel violated it too.
Are you questioning if Israel is committed?
Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I've never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with
Clearly
that.
they did.
I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because the one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically...
Uh-oh. Oh, they cut it off. Wait, what happened? Hold on. Yeah, they cut that whole thing out. So at the end, Donald Trump says that people don't know what the F they're doing. I was just going to try to bleep it, but they cut the whole thing out. Okay, well. All right, so the Don has spoken. He has said what he said. I think that is it. I don't see anybody else that has a better angle or better audio. Please forgive me. I don't see anyone with a better audio of it. Just hold on one second. Yeah, I don't see anything else. Sky News is reporting it, but it doesn't look like they're doing any. Nobody's giving a better angle than what we already saw. So I think we're good. All right. So shout out to the Don. Shout out to Don. All right. It's a wild world we living in out here, y'all. It's a wild world. But rest assured, have no fear. Jesus Christ is still Lord, and we have nothing to worry about. Donald Trump is Jesus' Trump. Israel is Jesus' Israel. Iran is Jesus' Iran. And guess what? As long as he's in control, we have nothing to fear, nothing to doubt, nothing to be in confusion about. All right. I'm just looking real quick. I don't see any other updates on that. So he's going, Donald Trump is going to a NATO convention, whatever, the conference, whatever. And prayerfully, things will calm down in the Middle East. But I mean, I think we all know, we've heard this song and dance so many times. I think we all know the song. In the words of Sade, we know the end before the story's been told. We already know how this is going to go. It's already going to play out. So we'll just be patient. Again, pray for peace there. Pray for the peace of Israel. Pray for level-headed leadership in the Middle East, period. That just wants peace, not just ideological warfare. Like that. I mean, just it doesn't make sense. But y'all let me know what y'all think. I appreciate you all so much for tapping in. This is just a quick live stream. I just wanted to talk about what happened with Donald Trump and what's going on over there in the Middle East and the such of that nature. Just want to get your highlight this and talk about it for a quick second, and then we can always jump back on it. I'm sure there'll be more tonight. I'm sure there'll be more later on today, and we'll just do it again. We'll do it again. I did drop a video with everybody that's in their feelings about us striking Iran. There was a lot of people in their feelings about it. So I just dropped a video just a few minutes ago showing, hey, Trump wasn't the first one to want to strike Iran. We've had quite a few people that y'all know, quite a few presidential candidates and such like that wanted to strike Iran. So that video is linked in the description as well. Matter of fact, let me make sure I drop it in the chat for y'all. But I'd love for you to check it out. Please make sure you like the video and as well as comment. Let me know what you think about it. I'm going to drop this in the chat. I'm going to get out of here. I got to go get my bride's tires taken care of. Y'all, thank you so much for rocking with us. This was a short, quick one. So thank you so much for hanging out there to the end. If you did hang out to the end, leave me a green heart in the chat. Let me know that you liked it after, of course, you hit the like button. And thank you again to everybody who subscribed. I really do appreciate it. You helping us get closer and closer to our goal of 50,000 subscribers. And I'm looking forward to celebrating with you all real soon. So everybody have a great rest of the day. I'll see you real soon. Grace and peace.